Turning to the Canadian Community Economic Development Network, Mr. Toye.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity to present to you today. Le réseau canadien de développement économique communautaire est en
The Canadian Community Economic Development Network is made up of the citizens, members, municipalities, and their purpose is to improve social conditions for Canadian communities. We have hundreds of members throughout Canada, including in urban, rural areas, in the north, and in First Nations communities.
Action to enhance the social and economic conditions of communities on an integrated and inclusive basis. It reduces poverty, unemployment, and social disadvantage by building assets and creating opportunities. What distinguishes CED is its understanding of the interconnectedness of social, economic, and environmental issues, and a philosophy that solutions would tend to be most effective to the complex problems communities face are those that involve and are driven by the people who are most directly affected. Community leaders understand that the complex challenges they face require multifaceted responses. Recent trends in the social economy, social finance, community resiliency all reflect that, expanding the scope of innovative community-based practices tremendously, with examples ranging from new community crowdfunding strategies to impact investing, Quebec's recent law on the social economy, to the UN Task Force on the social and solidarity economy. Our recommendations focus on how the government can implement the measures it has already committed to undertaking in the election and in the ministerial mandate letters, and ways that will maximize their success and the value for communities. First of all, the government will be making significant infrastructure investments, including much-needed social infrastructure. Building on the report exploring the potential of social finance in Canada under the leadership of Mr. McColman this spring, the Human Committee's report, we recommend that those infrastructure investments include a social finance fund and social infrastructure grant program that could leverage private investment and provide matching capital for durable social infrastructure projects, such as the proposed Canadian Cooperative Investment Fund. That those investments also include a social impact scoring component on all infrastructure contracts and recipients, and that they include community benefit agreements, similar to the provisions enacted in Ontario's Bill 6 last year. As part of Canada's climate change strategy, community renewable energy offers excellent local investment opportunities and tangible socioeconomic impacts. While contributing to the transition to a low-carbon economy, community-based projects inspire a new kind of social entrepreneurship, building strong social license for clean technologies and empowering local citizens, especially Indigenous peoples, with the opportunity to reinvest clean energy project returns into local infrastructure, health, and education. We recommend that new infrastructure investment includes criteria that prioritize funding for clean energy projects for communities vulnerable to climate change, and that financing is made available and affordable to communities and project developers through the Canadian Infrastructure Bank, including federal loan guarantees to support private investment. Community enterprises, operated by nonprofits, co-ops, and microenterprises, established by or dedicated to supporting marginalized individuals and communities, create wealth and respond to the needs of rural and urban communities. Contrary to popular misconceptions, community enterprises have a higher survival rate than traditional SMEs, while offering a positive financial and social return on investment. We recommend that social enterprises, nonprofits, and cooperatives be given access to existing regulatory and tax measures and business development programs that are currently available to small and medium enterprises through awareness-raising efforts for government officials to ensure a level playing field for alternative forms of incorporation. Finally, all of these recommendations will be most successful if they're implemented with a partnership approach. A roundtable bringing together representatives from the CED community and government would facilitate the ongoing co-construction and refinement of public policy in support of communities. This would provide access for meaningfully involving the CED sector in the development and regular review of government initiatives to ensure they meet our shared public policy objectives. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toye.
I'm going to go to Michael. You haven't really been able to chime in here through most of the discussion. Thank you for the shout-out, by the way, for human resources, skills and development, and status of persons with disability work. Social finance. Most people probably don't understand the concept of it. The fact that you can mobilize immense amount of capital to do community projects on the ground. There's lots of people who are interested around the world with it. Can you do it justice in the next 2 minutes to kind of describe exactly what it is you would propose in a budget from a federal government in terms of the framework to support social finance?
Thank you for that question. And probably the short answer is no, I can't do it just in 2 minutes, but I'll do my best. Impact investing, social finance is the combination of people investing for social returns and not purely financial ones. So it's a market that's been growing internationally as well as here in Canada. A couple of Canadians, in fact, did a study last year for the Rockefeller Foundation measuring the scope, and it's an asset class that's really growing. In Canada, specifically, some of the recommendations being made by key leaders like the Mars Centre for Impact Investing, Van City Credit Union, the Chantier de l'Économie Sociale suggest that build on the G7 Task Force on Social Finance, as well as the thought leader group convened by the Mars Centre for Impact Investing, saying that a first loss capital fund of $250 million dedicated to social investment, which I mentioned, could catalyze a 3-to-1 matching from private sector investments and then really have an impact on social infrastructure in the country. The second angle on it is capacity building, because there is an emerging practice. As you say, most people don't understand what it means, but how can we classify, how do we measure, how do we regulate these new asset investment opportunities? There's some work that needs to be done, and the civil society actors on the ground doing that work could be advanced in terms of building that capacity.
Thank you.